walked murmuring something as she looked herself awkward. Like, why the heck I have to come to his office? Can't he pick me? Oh god, she murmured annoyingly. Like, seriously, if he's like, he's doing something kind of formality. Like, why, bro? You can just say no, she murmured when a girl came running behind her. Bro, are you still here? If you walk from this street, you will reach tomorrow. Ryan gave her a look. I don't want to go inside like being all ready. I feel like I'm a showpiece, she annoyingly said and Sana sighed. It's okay, you're on a date. Ryan looked at her. He could have picked me. Is this how he behaves? I have taken a day off. Why can't he? She annoyingly said and Sana smiled. Maybe some important work, she said, shrugging shoulder. If work is that important that he could have cancelled the date. Why need to do formality? She said, stomping her foot, and Sana bit her lips. How I am going to spend my life with this rude and anti-romantic CEO? What will happen to my dream life? She faked pride and Sana said, You're thinking too much. Let's go inside first. Mine groaned. My legs are already paining. Why my mom get me ready like a showpiece? She mumbled and Sana chuckled. You're looking bomb. She mumbled back walking. Haha, right. I might blast in front of him. Sana laughed. Are you crazy? She laughed. I don't know why I get nervous around him. He's so rude and cold. What I'm going to do on date with him? She mumbled annoyingly. That I don't know. I will not go on date with you. I just came here because you said. And ground. My body already started doing things. What I'm going to do? She murmured and they walked in. She walked in nervously and when she walked inside, looked around the office is quite decorated and ambience looked soothing. And two people came and bowed to her, making her feel awkward. Welcome, ma'am. They welcomed her with a bouquet and she looked at them for a while. For you, ma'am, he said, extending the bouquet, and Sana nudged elbow to her, adjusted her mind, took nervously. Congratulations, ma'am, for your engagement. He said, smiling and Ryan smiled nervously. Thank you. Please come, ma'am. Should I bring you something to drink? He asked politely and Ryan shook her head. No. And when a man walked through and a smile tugged on his face. Hello, ma'am. I'm Kim Ho, Sir Jungkook's secretary. Sir sent me for you. He said with a smile and Ryan smiled back. Hello, Hinwoo. Nice to meet you. She said, handshaking with him. As he looked at Sana and greeted her as well. Would you like to have something? He asked and Ryan shook her head. No, thanks, she said nervously and Hinwoo looked around. Sir told me to give you office tour until he finishes his meeting, sir. He asked and she bit her lips. Sure, why not? And Sana looked at Ryan, shaking her head. Great, come then, he said, showing her way while other employees watching her with a smile. Some of them are just gossiping. Do you like the decoration? He asked and Ryan nodded. Yeah, it's good. He smiled. There is a silence for a while and Sana nudged elbow to her. See, he did this all for you. You're getting him for no reason. She whispered. Why he will do these decorations for me? It must be some for clients. She whispered back and Sana rolled her eyes. You're stupid, she murmured and Ryan was frustrated. Hello? She spoke and he looked back at her. Yes, mom, he said, raising his voice. Is there any client visit or something? I mean, why office so decorated? She asked, smiling nervously, and he smiled. It's for you. Sir told me you're visiting office for the first time, so. Ryan choked her saliva, while Sana smiled widely. Are you sure? She asked, and he nodded, and Ryan felt blood rushing through her cheeks. As he opens a door, this is Jungkook sir's cabin, he said, walking in, and Ryan and Sana followed, while Ryan's eyes scanned the cabin curiously. Then her eyes landed on his table. There his frame on the table, which of their engagement and wine with her lips. That too, sir, asked you to. She asked, pointing at his table, and he nodded while wine gulped hard. My gosh, she mumbled. Okay, let's explore. Actually, I'll just sit. I will explore some other day. She said, and he knew smile. No problem. You can wait here. I think the meeting should have over by now. He said, looking at watch. Okay, till then I'll bring you something to drink. He said, and wine stopped him. No, that's not required. I'm fine. She said, and he nodded slowly. Okay, I'll be back. He said, and wine nodded with a smile. He walked. While Wine sighed and Sana looking at her smiling widely, and she raised her what? She asked and Sana folded arms across her chest. What you were saying? Unromantic, rude, etc. She said and Wine rolled her eyes. Do you think he has done this with his own will? Definitely his mother said. Trust me. She said and Sana rolled her eyes. You're not gonna appreciate at all. She said and Wine sighed shaking. Okay, should I go now? She asked, and I shook her head. No, why are you leaving me alone with him? She instantly said, holding her hand, and Shoshana gave her a look. Are you even serious? You're making me third wheel. What he must think? It's your date, he said, trying to convince her. Whatever, no. Stubbornly shaking her head. You would take me to your house and wedding night too? She asked her mind without letting her complete. Yes. Sana looked at her surprised. Oh, is there any case that I am third wheeling? His firm voice reached to her ear and Wine felt her body got cold. She looked in his direction and he had cold expression on his face. And cold gaze which set some shivers to her spine, and her all confidence vanished in just few seconds. At the time she made eye contact with him, and Sana controlled her smile and Wine broke the eye contact, looking here and there. He waited her to speak, but she didn't, and he understood by her body gesture that she is all nervous. And he walked in, and when Sana greeted him, and he greeted her back with a small smile. His gaze shifts to Ayn, who is adjusting her dress and hair, and he looked at her from head to toe. And Jungkook tilted his head and cleared his throat. You got all ready for me or your best friend? He asked, and Sana controlled her smile and she looked at him nice. Why would I get ready for her? She murmured underneath and he raised hers. I can't hear you. A little louder. He said, poking his cheeks and Ryan looked at him with purple face and he raised hers. It's our date, isn't it obvious? She murmurs and he scoffed. Our date? Sure. He asked and she nodded and Jungkook shifted his gaze to Sana. Did you hear that? It's our date. He said and Sana nodded, smiling. Yeah, I know that. I was just going. Jungkook smiled a little, and Ryan looked at Sana then as they both were teasing her. Good for you, he replied, and Ryan stared at her. By the way, nice arrangement. I liked it. She said, and Jungkook bit his lips. My mom's idea. He said, scratching head, and Ryan looked at Sana, raising brows, and Sana smiled at him. I told her. She flicked her head, thinking, not knowing Jungkook was watching her. He took a strand of her hair behind, then reality hits her. What are you so proud of? He asked, and whined with her lips shook her head. Nothing, she said, and Jungkook sighed. Shall we go? He asked, and she nodded. Okay, then I'm leaving, she said, and Wine immediately speaks. Come with us. We'll drop you in our way. And Jungkook leaned to his table, folding arm across his chest, and Sana smiled. No, that's fine. I'll go by myself. Giving a deadlift smile while Jungkook was glaring at Wine. And Sana gestured her. She looked at Jungkook and shook her head. No, I mean, I was just saying because you're straight, right? He asked, and Sana laughed a little while Wine widened her eyes. Yeah, what? Of course. Being all frustrated, and Jungkook shook his head. Okay, let's go. Please come so that your friend might not feel uncomfortable. He said, and Sana shook her head. No, sorry, Jungkook, I have to go. she said in a smile as she looked at Jungkook. I'm fine, I'm not feeling uncomfortable, she said and he shook his gaze. It doesn't look by seeing you. Anyways, I'm not eating you, he said and I looked away. Are you comfortable going on date with me? I mean, it's not like that you are going with your own will. She asked and Jungkook fixed his collar. I'm okay, he replied and went raised rose. It doesn't look by seeing you, she murmured in return, earning a glare from him. There's an awkward silence as he was glaring at her while she looked everywhere except him, and Sana felt stuck in their moment and she laughed a little and spoke. Okay, I'll go now, she said, breaking the awkward silence, and Ryan nodded as she gave her a hug and Jungkook watched her by, squishing her in her arms while Jungkook pierced her through his face. She walked out and there is a wide smile on her face, and when Jungkook cleared his throat, if you're done with your all lovey-dovey, then shall we go? He asked a little sarcastically. Ryan gave him a look and sighed and nodded. Yeah, she replied. Jungkook sighed as well. While Ryan rolled her eyes. Always rude. She murmured. How I wish I married to a statue than him. At least there would be a little romance left in my life. She murmured. You should speak louder, at least I can hear you. He speaks suddenly, making her bring out of her thoughts, and she bit her lips. Jungkook held her hand and Ryan blinked multiple times. We are a couple for world. He speaks in Ryan's side as he walked holding her hand. Just for world. What I say sometimes I don't even realize. She is about to sit, and when Jungkook pulled her chair, looking away, and Ryan raised hers and smiled a little into me. Oh, he knows that. That means there's still a hope. Not all hope is romantic. She said in mind, and then Jungkook tilted his head and snapped finger. Want me to stand like this? He asked and she said, slapping herself into. Jungkook took his seat and Ryan looked around like a curious kid. Their table is far away from people in corner, a separate and private compartment. And waiter comes with menu as he stood there to take order. One iced Americano and he looked at Ryan. What would you like to drink? He asked. Mocha, she said and Jungkook looked at her for a while. Ryan leaned back to her chair. Oh god, he's so judgy face. I mean look at him. I could have ordered that too. I thought she might be black coffee type skirt. One iced Americano and mocha, he said as he looked at the menu. What do you like to eat? He asked. Whatever you like, she replied, shrugging her shoulder. My goodness, I thought I would order same what she will order. What should I order now? What if she thought I am too foodie? Shingo cleared his throat. I don't like to eat anything. I'll order for you. He said, scratching his back, and Ryan looked at him blank. Hey, are you perhaps on diet? She asked casually, and Jungkook stared up for a while. Of course, you must be. How can he be foodie like me? He has a well-built body. One mac and cheese pasta. She said, cutting off her thoughts, eyeing on him, and Jungkook smiled at her. Whatever the best options and recommendation you have. He said and waited and ordered no and wide your eyes a little. Sure, sir. Your order will get ready in 30 minutes. Till then, enjoy some music. He said and Jungkook nodded. Why you said all options? Do you think we both can eat that much? She asked and Jungkook looked at her and gentle smile tugged on his face. It's okay, it will not be that much, he said and I stared him. Listen, I'm not that foodie. I mean, I like to eat food, I pay for food, but in 2-3 bites, and I'm done. She explained and listens her, smiling a little. I mean, I can't eat that much, she said, correcting her posture and Jungkook nodded. It's okay, I'll eat whatever you left. he said, smiling slightly, and Ryan felt her stomach did a thing. There is in silence for a while when Jungkook took out his phone to check and Ryan took out hers. He got busy in an office work as he glanced at him in between that he might talk to you but he didn't. He looks occupied and so you sighed stripping her. Why am I even here? She murmurs to herself. She looks at him tiredly. What a boring life I will live. She murmured and Jungkook glanced at her while talking the way she was judging him through her eyes, and his brows narrowed with nervousness. I'll talk to you later, he said before hanging up the call when Ryan diverted her gaze and there is an awkward silence between them. She was awkwardly shifting while Jungkook was just looking at Ryan. There were thousands of questions running in his mind while he was looking at her. But on the other hand, Ryan awkwardly shifting because she feels awkward and nervous under his stares. Because most of the time she stares her and says nothing. And she's not that kind of girl who loves to keep silent. She loves to talk, but he barely speaks, which makes her a little frustrated. Why he always stares me like as if I am a criminal? She murmured, scratching her head, and Jungkook tilted his head. How I should start? I should not make her uncomfortable. Why I can't speak in front of him? Why I become scaredy cat in front of him? She murmured. He approached when Ryan's heart immediately skipped speed because of his sudden husky and deep voice. He still sensuous to her. Yes, she nervously spoke as heartbeat quickened. Should I ask her? What she will think of me? Desperate beat. I'm going to New York next month. He speaks, maintain his stern voice, and Ryan listens. Yeah, okay, she said with a small smile. He again got silent, and when he tried to speak, their food arrived, and her all attention diverted to their food, and he again couldn't say as he closed his eyes and sighed. As he looked at her again, there is an innocent smile tugged on her lips like a child who got excited looking at food. And he smiled slightly. And when she took her coffee and took a sip, and the whip came in that made mistake on above her lips, which made him chuckle slightly. Hearing his soft chuckle made her look at him with raised brows with question. And when he noticed her gaze on him, he covered his smile and pointed at her lips and gestured her but shouldn't understand. And he took out his handkerchief and leaned to her, which made her heart to do marathon as he gently wiped her lips, which almost made her heart come out of her chest as he touched her with two fingers while wiping her lips. And that time when their gaze met, and his heart stopped for a while and his hand movement slowed down. For the first time they have seen each other this much close and the eye contact isn't so intense nor too soft, but something that their eyes spoke which they couldn't. Wine brought the cup near his lips as he eyed on the cup and then her, and she seemed lost. She didn't know what she was doing, but Jungkook knew. She made him drink from same cup and he does without any hesitation. It never tasted this sweet before. He finally whispers, and that moment she brought herself back. And she moved slightly, looking away. While there is a slight smile tugged on Jungkook's face, and he moved back to his chair, still looking at her. The way she was trying to gather herself, trying to react to the situation, what she did actually, and trying not to flush there. But her shyness was clearly visible, that her cheeks were so red and most adorable. He found that her nose turned completely pink, and she corrected her hair back to back, not making eye contact. And he smiled more internally because they don't know what this feeling is, but is it feels overwhelming and sweet and dreamy. Ryan glanced at him, And he got silent and smiling to his own, sitting there, and she cursed herself underneath. What I am up to? She cursed underneath. She took sip as she looked at her cup and constantly thinking why she did that. She took another sip until her thoughts interrupted at something as she choked on her coffee. Jungkook looked at her immediately with concern. Are you okay? He asked, and she looked shocked and scared. Yeah, and Jungkook frowned because her body movements suddenly got different. She took her bag and checked for something and shut her eyes, cursing herself, and she crossed her legs, not knowing what to do next. While Jungkook noticed that she is uncomfortable. Are you sure you're okay? He asked, and again, while mine just stared him, not knowing what to answer. And she took a while to answer. Yeah, I'm okay. And Jungkook stared at her as he is not satisfied with her answer. How come it is happening without any sentence or something? It's a surprise, she murmurs, playing with her fingers. The food is getting cold. He speaks, being confused, and wine bit her lips as sweat covered her face already. Yeah, food. She nervously took the plate while her body and legs are shaking as Jungkook starts having his meal while eyeing at her. Cherry on top, I'm giving white. It's definitely going to stain. What I'm going to do? What should I do? I'm going to back to home. Ah, it's so embarrassing. What they will think of me? She screamed internally. She flinched again and squishes her legs tightly as a spoon fell from her hand, and Jungkook looked at her. Her face is covering with sweat, and she wants to scream and cry badly because she feels so awkward and uncomfortable with him now. What happened? He asked seriously, and she looked at him with nervousness as she looked here and there, playing with her. I need to go home, sorry. She said, and Jungkook's boss yelled at. Are you okay? I mean, is there something wrong? He asked, and she nodded slowly, but then immediately shook her head. I just want to go home, she said, and Jungkook got conscious, thinking he might done something wrong. It's because of me? Did I do something wrong? He asked, and she shook her head as she doesn't know how to explain. Oh my god, why he's asking so many questions? Just let me go before she exhaled heavily. I'm not feeling well, I just want to go home. Okay, I'll drop you. No, I called Sana. She will pick me. She said, and Jungkook just stared at her with down look. I doubt both of them sometimes, he murmured to himself. Huh? She shot a sharp glare to her. This man will eat me with his eyes someday. Ali just stared at her and she looked here and there, playing with his fingers, and she doesn't know how to escape from this situation. I I need to go. He was staring her silently when her phone rings and she panicked as she attends while eyeing on him. Yes, Sana. Can you pick me? He looked at her down. When he got up suddenly, a swine French because he got up aggressively and he walked near her, up beating for a while, and she took her phone from her hand and she looked at him, widening her eyes a little. Yes, Sana, is Jungkook speaking. You don't need to come, I'll drop you. His voice was cold and Wine's jaw dropped and gasped with. She tried to. Shh! He put finger on her lips, making her heart beat wildly. Okay. He hung up the call and put her phone inside his pocket. And she looked at him, shocked. Jungkook, I'm your life partner, not her. He whispers in husky voice, leaning to her face, and she gulped hard. But why you so hesitate to share things with me? Are you scared of me? Am I a ghost or something? He asked, and she just stared his eyes. I'm here for you, he lastly said when she looked down. And he stood straight as he called waiter to pack the food, which remains untouched, while you constantly played with your fingers. And then he looked at you. Come, he said, extending hand to her, and she didn't look up. He sighed. And he leaned slowly, and she shut her eyes, and he asked, "What happened? Tell me." This couldn't more gentle way he could ask. She looked at him and gestured her softly. "I can't go like this." Her voice was barely audible, and he put his hand on hers to assure her. "What happened? Don't you like me?" "Something like that. Be honest," he said softly to assure her. Ryan hesitated a bit to speak, and she closed her eyes before speaking. "I got my periods." The nervousness was clearly visible on her face and audible in her voice. His expression remains unchanged, and his hand slowly wrapped around her. "That's it," he whispered, and she looked at him embarrassed, and he patted her head. "You could have told me earlier. That's completely normal," he said softly, and her expression slowly melted. "My dress, my God, stain," she murmured, and he looked at her eyes for a while. As he stood straight and wine bit her lips, and Jungkook removed his blazer. As he looked at her, "Get up." He approached her as she did, he said, while avoiding eye contact with him, and he wrapped his blazer around her, looking in her eyes, which was not even trying to look in his. Ryan felt overwhelmed and new to this feeling as he came this close to her for the first time. "You want me to accompany you to washroom?" he asked. Ryan shook her head. "No, I want to go home. I don't have that," she hesitantly said, and he just listened. "Should I buy them for you?" he asked, and Ryan looked at him, and her eyes finally met his, as she felt a sense of security for the first time with him. As she slowly shook her head. "I just want to go home," she said softly, and he nodded. "Okay," he said as he moved. He took his things as he took her bag as well, and Ryan just stared at him, and her head filled with butterflies and overwhelmed as he held her hand. "Let's go," he said, and she nodded. When his phone rings as he picked, "Yes, Anyo, I'm busy today." He spoke on call, and Ryan just stared at him. "Yes, you can reschedule them." "Huh, yes," he added as he just hummed and hung up the call and looked at her. "It was an important call," he said, and she nodded. "It's okay," she said, and he nodded. He walked holding her hand, and her eyes fixed on him, and she realized that with him she can walk anywhere. He's the one, even though he doesn't show that much, but he is actually there for her. That assured her. The door opened, and her mother opened the door, seeing them, and she smiled. "Oh, Jungkook dear, how are you?" she asked, smiling, and he slightly he smiled slightly as he greeted her. "I'm good, Mom. How are you?" he asked, and she smiled. "Oh, me too," she replied as he nodded, and her mother's eyes shifts to Ryan, and she asked, "Why you so early, dear?" she asked, and Ryan side-eyed on Jungkook. Before she could speak, he speaks. "She wasn't feeling well," he said, and her mother nodded. "Oh, why are you standing at the door? Please come," she said, and he nodded. They walked in, and Ryan quickened her step to her mother, and Jungkook watched her. "Oma, Appa is in the living room?" she asked, and her mother nodded, being clueless, and Ryan shut her eyes in annoyance. "Hey, what happened?" "Actually, I wanted to talk to you as well," she said, and Ryan looked a little frustrated, and Jungkook noticed. "Oma, my dress got completely ruined," she said, and her mother understood that what she meant. She eyed on Jungkook. "Oh, how? You didn't?" "I didn't have. It was unexpected," she said with rush, and her mother sighed. "Okay, go in your room. We won't stop you," she said, and Ryan nodded. "Okay, come son. Today have dinner with us." Jungkook nodded. "Sure." While Wine rushed towards her room like a kid, as Jungkook's gaze shifts to her and her mother shook her head. "So no one shall grow up," she said, and Jungkook sighed with a slight smile. Jungkook talked with Wine, stared, and Wine didn't come out since then, his eyes curiously searching for her and Wine's mother's name. "Jungkook dear, you ordered something. It was on your name," she said, extending. "Yes, Mom. I thought it's Wine's." "It's for her only," he unknowingly mumbled, checking the order, and her mother looked at him. Jungkook realized. Isn't she coming for dinner?" he asked nervously, and her mother sighed. "She won't," she said. "I asked her, don't mind her," she said, and Jungkook bit his lip. "What about her dinner?" he asked, being curious, and her mother smiled. "She said she isn't feeling like to eat anything. I can't force her, but I'll feed her later." "Is she okay?" he asked, and her mother nodded. "Yeah, she is okay. She isn't feeling well," her father nodded as her father looked at Jungkook, who is lost. "It's okay, son. Have dinner with us. Pardon my daughter." As her mother was serving dinner when Jungkook suddenly speaks. "Oh, Mom, can I take her dinner?" he asked nervously, and her mother looked at him. As she looked at her father, her mother smiled. "Yeah, sure, why not?" "Can I be in her room for a while?" he asked nervously, looking in both of her parents, and her parents exchanged glances with a smile. "Why are you asking? You're going to share life soon. You don't need to ask us," she said. "Yeah, we won't restrict you, but you can ask her if she wants to," he said, and Jungkook nodded and he smiled. "Go," he said, and Jungkook got up, weighing them. "Take your dinner as well," she said, and he nodded with a smile. "Thank you," he said as he walked, and her parents smiled, shaking their head. "Chagya, someone came to take your place. Now, you don't need to feed her. You don't need to worry about her. My son-in-law will take care of my daughter," he said, and her mother smiled. "Yes, I guess so. He will take her tantrums better than me, I guess, because I have to scold her badly," she said, chuckling with tears. The door opened slightly, and Van Wine peeked at her, slowly opening her eyes as her one hand on her forehead and her eyes isn't fully open. "Oh my," I said, "now I don't want to have dinner. I don't have appetite," she said in sleepy voice, and Jungkook sighed. "Our body doesn't work on appetite, right?" His deep husky voice reaches to her ears as she got goosebumps and her sleep flew away. And she opened her eyes to see, and her eyes widened a little in shock. "Jungkook," she speaks. "Yes, may I come in?" he asked, and she looked herself as she panicked a little. "No, I mean yes, please come," she said as her voice was panicked, and he sighed and with a smile as he walked. While she covers her body with duvet while sitting, and he just observe her body movements, which isn't relaxed when he is around, and he placed a dinner on the side table as she watched him. "I thought you might have gone," she said, and he tilted his head. "You weren't expecting me?" he asked, and she shook her head slowly. "Okay, then from now on, expect me when you can't expect me to be," he said, and I stared at him. "You didn't have dinner?" he asked, and he shook his head. "I thought to have with you," he said, and she stared at him. "It's supposed to be like this, right?" he said, and she nodded slowly, and when suddenly she realized he was standing as she moved. "Please sit," she said, making space for him, and he smiled as he sits and took dinner tray. "Thanks," he said, and she nodded. "Sorry for today. It didn't go as it is planned." He smiled. "It's okay. We still have chance. And I think this is the best one at your place, at your safest place to share dinner with you. It couldn't be perfect than this," he said, and Wine just stared at him. "I am not feeling like to eat," she said with so much emotions, and he smiled. It's okay, try like this. Maybe you feel like to eat, he said, extending his spoon near her lips, and she watched him as he gestured her. I feel like to feed you. I thought it might work because that's what your mother said that she feeds you, he said, and Ryan stared his eyes. Only can see sincerity as she looks down and smiled. With mom, it isn't same. I throw 100 tantrums. She asked me politely first, then with love, and I still say no. Lastly, she used her weapon and scolded me badly. Then my food gets digested. Jungkook chuckled softly, hearing her, and I chuckled a bit. It's okay. If you want to throw tantrums, I'm ready to take them all. But yeah, I can't be like your mother. I can scold you. He said, smiling shyly and bit her lips. I can't say no
I
to you
can't
if you ask
say
me like
no
this,
to you
she
if you
said,
ask
playing
me
with her
like this.
fingers, and Jungkook bit his lips while smiling. Especially it's first time you are asking me like this. I would be a bad person then, she said, and he nodded. Yeah, you should not disrespect my efforts, he said, smiling way too much as she was doing too. Their silence only, and their soft chuckle was audible, and their heartbeats synchronizing at first. Later, start doing competition that whose will beat fast. There is shyness all around the room, and the room is blooming with new and refreshing feelings. It's just they are normally trying to talk to each other, but their eyes betraying them. Jungkook could hold the eye contact, but Ryan can't. He feeds her while talking on random things, making her laugh, and looking at her laugh makes him smile widely for no reason as they feed each other. It feels refreshing. I feel like I talked after ages. He confessed, and Ryan smiled. I thought you don't talk, she said, and he nodded. You're right. I usually don't do this much. But I feel like talking to you, but I didn't know how to start. He said, and she just listened. I mean, I felt that way because I know you are the one I have to spend my lifetime, share my sadness to happiness. You are going to be my better half, so he said nervously, and her smile slowly faded. Am I your ideal type? She asked, and his smile slowly faded. He looked down for a second as if he is searching for the right words, then met her eyes again, soft but intense. You're not my ideal type. You are my only type. Her heart skips beat as she instantly broke the eye contact. He held her hand softly as he cast a ring in her hands, and he also looked down. I don't know what this feeling called, but it's beautiful. I feel happy around it. He confessed, and Ryan looked at him slowly. You think I could be the one? She asked nervously when he intertwined his hand in hers and looked in her eyes. I know you're the one. He spoke with softly, but his emotions carried intensity. You think am I your type? He asked sincerely, and Ryan stared him. I don't know what my type is, but lately my heart keeps choosing you. She replied, making him smile, looking at him. He covered his face with one hand, smiling, and Ryan smiled, tilting her head, looking at him. How can you dominate me without even trying? I'm feeling weak, he said, chuckling softly, and Ryan did too. For me, same. She said, and Jungkook looked at her. I think it's crazy and wild. You're gone, he said, and Ryan nodded, smiling. I feel it too, she said, chuckling. They stared each other for a while. It was a normal stare. It feels like they are admiring each other with so many emotion. And when he took a strand of her hair and looked at other side as he couldn't stop smiling. Don't look at me like that, he said, smiling widely, and Ryan also looked at the side and their hands in hands. For you, same. Smiling as Jungkook looked back at her. Yeah, okay, we won't look at each other like that, he said, straightening his lips. And when Vine nodded, but a playful smile tugged on her face as he stared. each other for 5 seconds, and in 5 seconds they smile like fools as they are blushing hard. This is crazy, he said, looking away, and Ryan couldn't hide her blush too. How I would ask you that, he said, and Ryan looked down, smiling. What? She asked. That I want to take you New York with me, which I told you. Her heart suddenly started beating crazily as Jungkook looked at her. I wanted to ask that time too, but I couldn't, he nervously said. Will you come with me? He asked, and she nodded slowly, and he smiled. Thank you for not rejecting. Don't take me wrong, I just want to spend some time with you, he said, and slowly looked at him. Yeah, it's okay. It isn't a big deal, she said, and he raised brows, smiling. Really? She nodded, and he smiled like an idiot. How am I supposed to sleep today? It's really crazy, he said, and Ryan smiled. It's truly crazy. My headache gone, she said, smiling, and they finally looked at each other. Their eyes locked, and this time with intensity, and their smile slowly faded. Just silence, and their heartbeats synchronized. They stared at each other for quite good minutes, and when Ryan slowly slides and hugged him, and his heart stopped. Sorry, I always wanted to hug you for once, she said, resting her head on his chest, and he didn't hug her back immediately. It took him time to realize and feel the moment, and when she tapped his back and gestured him to hug her back. Hug me, I don't like one sided hug, she said against his chest, and Jungkook hugged her back, getting himself back. Sorry, I got lost, he said, smiling. I want to say one thing. I love hugs, she said, and he smiled widely. Thanks for telling. Tight hugs. I might squish you at times, Jungkook grinned as he hugged her tighter. I want you to squish me, One giggled. It's weird feeling. My stomach feels uneasy. Mine too. They both chuckled at the same time as they hugged each other for the first time, like they are hugging each other for the last time.